From the moment the camera fades in, you won't believe what's about to happen. Because what starts as a quiet walk onto the America's Got Talent stage will soon turn into one of the most unforgettable moments in the show's history, one that leaves the judges stunned, the audience screaming, and a golden buzzer raining down like a miracle. And by the time you reach the end of this story, you'll feel the same goosebumps millions felt that night. So stay with us, like this video, and subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to hear will inspire you in ways you didn't expect. It all began with a young Filipino man named Marco Santiago, a 27-year-old from a small coastal town in Quezon Province. Marco grew up in a tiny wooden home near the edge of the sea, where the early morning waves were the first sound he heard each day. His father was a fisherman who worked day and night to support the family, and his mother ran a little sari-sari store just outside their home. Life wasn't easy, but it was filled with warmth. And even though money was always tight, the house was never without music. Marco first discovered Elvis when he was 9 years old after finding an old cassette tape in a box his uncle left behind. He played it out of curiosity, but the moment Elvis's voice echoed through the tiny speakers, something inside Marco awakened. He spent the next years imitating that iconic sound, deep, rich, smooth with a thrilling vibrato. Neighbors would gather outside just to listen, and some even joked that he was the Filipino Elvis, a name that stuck so well he carried it proudly into adulthood. But dreams have a price. When Marco turned 20, his father became ill and could no longer work. Marco had to set aside music and pick up multiple jobs, janitor by morning, dishwasher by night, even singing for tips at a local restaurant when the opportunity came. Every peso he earned went to medicine, bills, and food. The spotlight he once dreamed of felt like a distant light he could never reach again. Years passed, and the responsibility of supporting his family became heavier. Yet every night, before falling asleep, he would whisper the same promise to himself, one day, I will sing on a real stage. It was a dream he refused to kill, even when the world around him seemed determined to silence it. Then one evening, while serving tables at the restaurant, a tourist couple from Los Angeles heard him singing an Elvis classic during his short break. They were stunned. His voice wasn't just good, it was soul-shaking. The man approached Marco, placed a hand on his shoulder, and said, "You need to audition for America's Got Talent." Marco laughed it off, thinking it was impossible. But the couple didn't give up. They helped him record a video, submitted it online, and a few months later, the most unexpected email arrived: "Congratulations, you are invited to audition for AGT." Marco froze. Fear and excitement battled inside him. His parents were even more stunned, but his mother simply held his hands and said, "Anik, this is your chance. God opened a door. Walk through it." He packed the only suit he owned, borrowed money for travel, and boarded a plane for the first time in his life. When he stepped onto the AGT stage, everything around him felt unreal: the lights, the crowd, the judges staring directly at him. Simon Cowell leaned forward and asked, "What's your name and what will you be doing for us today?" Marco's voice trembled slightly as he replied, "My name is Marco, and I'm going to sing an Elvis Presley song." Some audience members chuckled softly, thinking they had seen many Elvis impersonators before. But Marco wasn't here to impersonate. He was here to honor the voice that saved him during his darkest nights. The music started, slow and soulful, and the room instantly fell silent. His first note was so powerful that even Simon's eyebrows lifted. The tone was rich, buttery, impossibly close to the king, yet uniquely warm in its own Filipino charm. People who were whispering suddenly stopped. Those who were distracted froze. It was as if everyone collectively inhaled and forgot to exhale. Halfway into the song, Marco closed his eyes, remembering the nights he sang quietly beside his sick father, the mornings he woke before dawn to work, the sacrifices, the hunger, the moments he almost gave up. All of that emotion poured into the final chorus. His voice soared higher than anyone expected, shaking the hall with its intensity. The crowd rose to their feet long before the last note ended. And then, stillness. The kind of awe-filled stillness that happens only when something extraordinary has just occurred. He opened his eyes slowly, unsure of what reaction awaited him. For a moment, he feared he had done something wrong because no one moved. But then, boom! The entire theater exploded into applause and cheers. People screamed his name. Some wiped their tears. Sofia Vergara stood up clapping wildly. Heidi pressed both hands over her heart. Howie Mandel pointed at him as if saying, "This guy is the one." Simon Cowell simply stared, eyes narrowed in disbelief, but not in a bad way. "In a this might be one of the best things I've heard in years way." Marco covered his face, overwhelmed. He thought he was dreaming. But then a sound echoed that changed everything, the golden buzzer slam. A massive wave of golden confetti burst from above, raining down on Marco like heaven itself was celebrating his journey. The audience roared louder. Marco fell to his knees, sobbing as the judges walked up to embrace him. Simon placed a hand on his shoulder and said words Marco would never forget, "You didn't just sing, you lived that song. You deserve to be here." For Marco, it wasn't just a buzzer. It was years of pain, sacrifice, and silent hope finally breaking through. It was every night he thought he wasn't good enough. It was every obstacle that tried to stop him. And now, millions around the world were witnessing his victory. As he left the stage, he whispered a message meant for anyone listening: if you have a dream, don't let go. If life pulls you down, rise. You never know when your moment will come. And that is why you should stay to the end of stories like this. Because somewhere out there, another dreamer is fighting, struggling, waiting for that one chance. And just like Marco, your moment might be closer than you think. If this story inspired you, touched your heart, or gave you even a spark of hope, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your support helps us bring more stories like this, stories of heart, courage, and dreams that refuse to die. Your moment is coming. Believe it.